Hello, this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, and I'm coming to you guys with a rapid fire FAQ video about the upcoming live event in Nashville, Tennessee. It's going to be March 8th through 10th, and it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited to see many of you in person. But I have some great questions coming in from you guys, so just wanted to be able to answer them real quick. And feel free to, comment below, hit reply, with if you're getting this in an email with any additional questions. I'm happy to answer them. Just make sure they get to me. So yeah, here we go. Ready? Okay. So when can we get tickets? Good question. So early bird pricing for tickets are going to be available January 1st through January 9th. And then regular price tickets, the early bird period will be over after January 9th, but you'll still be able to get, it's dependent on availability. So there's a good chance that they'll sell out while it's early bird. But if we have some additional tickets still, then they'll be full price January 11th through January 19th of 2018. Boom. All right, next question. Will what we share at the event be confidential? Really great question. So you sharing your story is totally up to you. This is your journey. I completely respect that. I always really respect confidentiality, and that's always a huge priority. So you know how it's going to work at the event. This is a completely safe space. And realize that everyone else there is feeling the same way of a lot of us, we've never shared this with anyone. I talk to women who have literally had an eating disorder for 40 years and nobody knows. I'm like the first one that they talk to because they just want to be done with it, right? So know that that same respect is going to be at the event. So none of the participants are going to be allowed to record audio or video. So that's going to be totally confidential, and we have a very safe space, and it's going to be really clear guidelines for us all to just know that we can share and be open and not have to have any concerns that way. All right, next question. All right, I feel worried about going to the event and it not working for me. Know that you're not alone in that feeling. A really common feeling to have is, what if it works for everyone else and it doesn't work for me? There's a lot of anxiety around that, and it's something that pops up. But realize that the way that your brain works, the whole thing that we're overcoming here is your brain wanting to stay in the same place, like your eating disorder, and perpetuate those same habits. So let's follow that out. If you have this anxiety from your brain saying, or let's call it the chatter, for those of you who are familiar with these principles, if it's saying what if you go and it doesn't work for you and you've tried all this other stuff and won't it be so horrible? Look at where that leads. That leads to you not going because you're afraid it won't work for you. What if you go and it does work for you? And further than that, it's not about it working or not working. These are steps toward freedom. And you'll see at the event, we're going to talk about this mindset, but it's about practice and it's about moving forward. It's about learning a skill. It's not about finding the magic cure and hoping for the rest of your life that it sticks. This is intentional freedom that you know how to create. So understand that that's a normal way to feel. And then do what serves you. Do the thing that moves you toward freedom. And I promise you that you will not be able to benefit from any potential of freedom if you're not there. So look at that and come join us. Okay, so next question. How is this event different than your videos? Really, really good question. So, I have lots of videos. I know I give you guys lots of content. There's new stuff every Monday, and it's a very different thing besides information and transformation. Now, I try to give you really good information, but notice that if you're watching the videos and you're not done with your eating disorder or your food crazies or your food obsession, then there's missing pieces, right? So this is never before seen content in the event. I'll talk a little bit more about that as well, but no, it is not the same thing as the videos. This is something that can really only be delivered live, and so it is not the same thing as the videos. And is this the same content as your program is another good question. So let me go into this because I think this answers both these questions. So at the event, I'm going to be teaching you guys and revealing a parallel set of principles that has arisen from the hundreds and hundreds of people who I have helped be completely free from their food crazies, their eating disorders, binge eating, bulimia, overeating, all that jazz. And it's very best delivered in a live format. That's why we're doing it this way. If I could give it to you in a video, I would do that, right? But this is really about results. This is about the sort of stuff that gets in you because of the experience. And so that's why we're doing it live. So this is not just information. This is very interactive. This is about the transformation, about filling in the missing pieces. So it's a few different things. So those who have already been clients of mine, who are, graduated, who are free of their eating disorders, like they can come, and because these are different principles, it just helps them to lift up and prove what they've already learned. And then these are principles that you can literally use to transform any part of your life. Or somebody can come that has never heard of me before, never seen one of my videos, never read, any book, and they can get really valuable things for them because it's these sets of principles that, again, will help you in any sort of area of life. So I hope that answers that question. Like filling in the gaps, a lot of times we intellectually understand things like, oh, I totally get it. All your videos totally make sense, Lydia, and I'm still binge eating, right? So there's like a missing piece, like, oh, well, I'm having trouble separating the chatter from me, or this all seems good, but like once the binge urge is really strong, then it seems like things are totally different, and what do I do then? So see how you've got all this stuff that you've done, that you've come so far in, and then it's just those missing pieces. So you leverage what you have so far, you come to the event, you get the missing pieces, and then you can move on to freedom. So that's really what this event is about. All right. Oh, is this different than the Brain Over Binge book by Kathryn Hansen? Yes, absolutely. So I want you guys to understand, Kathryn Hansen is amazing. Her book, Brain Over Binge, is wonderful. It was a great missing piece in my own recovery. But what we're doing, what I do in general, is not the content of that book. Like, that was great information and a great missing piece, but everything that I do, everything that I teach is based off of real data of the women that I have helped get free. So none of this is sort of in theory or like, hey, I'm going to make this up because I really think this could help people. Everything that I teach is informed by the actual women who have already gotten free and come through this journey. And I've gathered data, okay, what actually works for them? What are the patterns that we see? What are the real life things? So none of this is sort of like made up or, the format from something else. Like everything I do is really geared toward what has actually worked for real people in getting free. And then we teach that to others. We see, yes, this is a system that totally works. We adjust where we need to make things even better, and we go from there. So, I mean, if this was the content of Brain Over Binge, I wouldn't say fly to Nashville and come to this event. I would say, hey, here's a book. You should read this. So yes, not at all the same thing, but great questions. I'm so glad you guys are asking. Okay. Oh, where can I stay when I'm there? Or do you have special, group block of rooms, that sort of thing? Really good question. So when you go to get your ticket, reserve your spot for the event, you'll get an email, and it'll like go to a little confirmation page as well with great places to stay or nearby places to stay. I haven't stayed at all these places, but I assume they're awesome because they're established places. So there are hotels close by that you can stay at. We don't have any sort of group rate or a certain hotel that we're endorsing. It's just like, hey, on the map, these are places that are close. And there will also be a link to Airbnb, which is a really popular way to stay in Nashville because so many people come to Nashville. It's very it city. Tons of people move there. Tons of people visit there. So it's a place where Airbnb is a popular thing because hotels fill up really quickly. So that being said, as soon as you get your ticket, book your hotel very quickly thereafter because things tend to really fill up. Okay. What if I feel like I need to lose weight what if I feel like I do need to lose weight and I feel really scared about giving up food rules? Is there any point in becoming? I'm really glad that you asked this. This is a misunderstanding that happens sometimes. I actually had a woman that I coached after 7 years of binge eating. She's now totally free, but she worked so much to let go of restriction before she even came to the program because she thought that was a prerequisite. Well, I have to, give up restriction. So, I mean, it was really great that she did, and that really helped her on her journey. But please don't misunderstand this. It's totally normal to feel that fear. I was in the same place. I felt that. So you don't have to be done with restricting or dieting, or you don't have to have your fear gone about that to be successful and end your eating disorder. I mean, like, those are important elements, but you don't have to have them before you get the help. Part of the help, part of what I do in my coaching is to show you exactly how to do that, how to eat in an allowing way that doesn't scare you, how to be free around food, how to give up the restriction, like all those things. So don't feel like you have to have that done before you can get free. No, that's part of what we do to help you get free. It's about a willingness. Am I willing to be open to the way to get free? Even if that's a little outside of my comfort zone or kind of scary? Of course it is. It's change. But is it more scary to stay in this habit that you've been in for so long and live the rest of your life this way? Like, it's going to be tough either way, right? You're either going to change or you're going to stay the same. And either way, like, one leads to freedom, the other leads to the same of what you've already been doing for so long. And then you just get to decide what direction you take. So let me know what other questions come up. Those were some top ones that I wanted to make sure that I answered for you guys. But again, this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach. So excited to see you in person in Nashville, 2018, March 8th, 9th, and 10th. We'll see you there. Mwah.